to pick Wesleyan because
it's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
Welcome back here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. I'm Jeff Moats, joined here by Nebraska Wesleyan University President Dr. Fred Oles. And Dr. Oles, thank you so much for joining us once again. It is senior day for these student athletes. They put a wrap on not only their athletic but their academic careers here at Nebraska Wesleyan. And over the years, Nebraska Wesleyan has had a lot of success stories when it comes to student athletes once they move on.
That's right, Jeff. You know, we're very proud of the NCAA tradition that every year 380,000 student athletes across the country go pro in other things and do great things as citizens and in their careers. At Nebraska Wesleyan, that's our tradition too. We are very delighted that Sean Bowens, a number of years back, played in the National Football League. Today, as his career, he runs scooters out of Kansas City and Omaha. And then I think of Samantha Mosser, who played volleyball here at Nebraska Wesleyan. Today she's the regional president of Union Bank and Trust Company in Omaha. And for that matter, Jason Light graduated in 1993. Today is the general manager of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we offer a combination of athletic opportunities and academic preparation that makes us very proud.
And it's something to look forward to for these seniors going out today. And Dr. Oles, as always, it's always been a pleasure talking to you through the course of the season. 4 home games, that's all we had this season.
That's right, Jeff.
But we made the most of it, didn't we?
We did for sure. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Dr. Fred Oles here, the Nebraska Wesleyan University president here at Able Stadium. We'll be back with more in just a moment on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
I always paid attention to fashion when I was growing up. And it's just fun to see it go from sketch pad all the way to actually being on shelves. Shoulder is a scarf with a pocket that you can store all of your basic necessities in. I think it's pretty amazing how quickly the company's grown. Union Bank has believed in me from day one. They have moved mountains for me to bring my product to life. The opportunity with Shoulder has led me all over the country. I love what I do.
Today's Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network telecast is made possible by Lincoln Electric System. It's your electricity, own it. Union Bank, you belong here. And Nebraska Wesleyan University.
About ready to start the second half here as Nebraska Wesleyan holds on to a 14-0 lead over Dakota Wesleyan. Let's check in with Corey Ross. He catches up here with Nebraska Wesleyan head football coach Brian Keller.
Here with Coach Keller. Coach Keller, pace offensively started off fast, slowed down, picked back up. How do you maintain this momentum second half?
Well, they're a good defense, and we've got to, they're doing some really good things there, but we've got to be much more consistent on first downs. I think we got to do a better job there. We stay on pace, get first and 5, get first 4 or 5 yards first down, get second and 4, second and 6, would be a lot better shape. We're not as consistent first down-wise, but, hey, give them credit. They're a pretty good defensive football team.
Any surprises defensively, what they're doing, Dakota Wesleyan's doing on offense today?
No, not really. I mean, we're showing them a lot of stuff. We're doing a lot of things they haven't seen on film, stuff we haven't done all year defensively, bringing all those pressures, and that's why we're getting there and stuff they obviously are not prepared for. And they'll make some adjustments at halftime, and we've got to be able to handle those things and keep on that defensive pressure.
Good luck, Coach.
Right,
next half. There you go, Coach Keller up top. We're done.
All right, Corey, thanks a lot. And well, a lot of the good things to talk about here in halftime for Nebraska Wesleyan as we look at some of the first half stats here from earlier in the game. There you see, rushing-wise, neither team setting the world on fire rushing, but passing. Look at that, Nebraska Wesleyan 200 yards passing to 97 from Dakota Wesleyan. Total yards 235 for the Prairie Wolves, 80 for Dakota Wesleyan. One fumble recovered, though, by Dakota Wesleyan. One interception, though, at one point thrown in the game. Time of possession, fairly even for the most part, except for Wesleyan with a slight advantage, 16 minutes, 40 seconds, 13:20 for Dakota Wesleyan. But the big difference, obviously, the passing game has been very effective for Nebraska Wesleyan, and it's something that Dakota Wesleyan has had to rely on heavily in this ball game.
And a lot of, they've showed early on they were bottling up Barneau a little bit, but for him to only have 5 attempts in that first half really surprises me for Dakota Wesleyan. He's the kind of guy who, over the course of his career, we've seen have anywhere from 28 to 42 carries in a football game. He's their workhorse. He will, they'll put the game on his back. So the fact that we only saw 5 attempts from him just makes me wonder if maybe he's not 100% or something of that nature, as he has 7 yards overall. But then Dylan's been sacked a few times, so he is negative 26. But yeah, the rushing attack from Nebraska Wesleyan, Barneau on the sideline right there, he looks okay. But we'll see if they get him rolling here in the second half. With those 200 passing yards in the first half, Tyler Francis has climbed from number 5 all the way up to number 2 on the season passing yards list. So he currently has 2,255 yards. He went ahead of Troy Long, who had 2,191. He needs 454 more yards to take sole possession of that.
Drop football on the return by Hayden Adams as he tries to return it, and he is stuffed up by Seth Wardeen and a few other Prairie Wolves on the return. And they'll put him at about the 17-yard line to begin the second half. So Dakota Wesleyan, who won the toss earlier in the game, offered to defer in the first half and receive in the second half, and now they'll have the football down 14-0. This team coming in number 19 in the NAIA Top 25.
And it's not that they haven't had some close games throughout the year, but ranked number 19, they've only lost to 2 ranked teams. But, Dakota State played them very close. They won that 27-22. They only beat Doane 27-23.
Slant route, and Livingston breaks a tackle from Wardeen, breaks free down the near side. It's a foot race, and finally Riley Shoemaker takes him down at about the 20-yard line of Nebraska Wesleyan.
That's the kind of some big play that Dakota Wesleyan needed. Simple slant route, and just once he got loose of that first tackle, a foot race.
A big gain. And now Turner out of the gun, runs the option pitch. Far side goes Barneau. Tries to cut back in. Hunter Hand wraps him up and tackles him on the play. No gain on the play at all. Still stuck at the 20-yard line.
63-yard pass play on that previous one. But again, the running attack, Barneau, nothing doing there.
And he's
shaking that knee out a little bit there. But a lot of it, as Coach Keller mentioned, they're showing things on defense that they haven't shown all year, bringing pressure against the quarterback, playing 3-4 with a couple extra backers. There's Barneau through the middle.
And then Barneau through the middle of the line. He had to drag David Jennings with him as he gets 5 yards on the pickup to the 15-yard line. A 3rd and 5 coming up here for Dakota Wesleyan.
Pretty good hole up front there for Barneau, and that's more of what you come to expect from this Tiger offense. Look over to Coach Simple over there, getting the offensive plays.
Here's a handoff, Barneau.
On a zone read.
Yep, and it's going to be stopped for a loss, or no, a gain of about 2 on the play, down to the 13. Several Prairie Wolves in on the point of attack that time to put the stop on Barneau. 4th down here, and decision time.
Well, and as I look at the stats, 0 for 8 this year is Daniel Porter on field goals, so they'll try and go for it here.
4th down. Turner, far side, incomplete. Good coverage there from Seth Wardeen. Cody Larson was the intended target for Turner. And so Dylan Turner and the offense to start out cannot sustain the drive, and they turn it over on 4th down and give the ball back to Nebraska Wesleyan at their own 13.
After the big 63-yard pass play, they come up empty-handed. You would think you maybe opt to get at least 3 on the board there. I know you're down 2 scores, but very early, just 3 minutes into this second half. But if your field goal kicker's 0 for 8, that might explain some of it.
Here's Joey Jones. He found a hole through the middle of the line, keeps the ball moving, gets to the 20-yard line, gets about 7 yards on the play. Pick up that time for Jones. We'll spot him at the 19. We'll give him 6. So 2nd and 4 coming
But
up.
that's exactly, as you take a look at Francis's number, 200 yards in the first half, 15 of 26. That's the kind of run right there that you need to sprinkle in every now and then. A 5-6 yarder on first down to get you in that 2nd and 4, stay ahead of the chains a little bit.
Francis.
Cervantes on a blitz.
Pitches it over to Joey Jones. Jones past the 20, gets to about the 21. And a pickup of 2 on the play. 3rd and 2 coming up here for Wesleyan. Nebraska Wesleyan, that is.
I thought maybe that one would have a chance for a little bit more as the blitz came from right where that pitch went, as Cervantes blitzed from his backer spot. And now Cervantes out there is getting after some of his teammates, especially in that defensive backfield, as they got 5 DBs out there.
3rd and 2. Francis, short toss near side. It is complete around the 23, and enough for a first down at the 25-yard line. They uncover the pile that time, and it's Joey Jones who gets the pickup and the first down. And they will utilize that running back and put him in motion out of the backfield, and sometimes go to a pass route to him.
And they had tremendous success with that against Concordia in the overtime victory here. In fact, the winning touchdown was scored as Weedle just simply leaked out of the backfield and was wide open. No one accounted for him in man-to-man coverage.
Here's Zumpf on 1st and 10
to
the 35, and gets about a 9-yard pickup on the play to the 35.
Well-designed group of routes down there on the near sideline. Earhart, a little comeback to the outside, pulled the defenders with him, and Zumpf was able to go to the inside, and a nice strike that time from Francis.
2nd and a yard to go. Corey Jones, Ryan Larson, they're the 2 receivers toward the top. 2 more here on the bottom part of your screen. And it's Jones who gets the handoff, tries to get around right side, gets the first down up to the 40, stumbled a little bit, but gets the first down as he's tackled at the 42-yard line. He was tackled on the play by Sam Kiger of Dakota Wesleyan.
Good second effort that time to almost hop free from the tackle and move the sticks on a 2nd and short, which so many times this year we've seen him unable to do via the ground. And this drive, some nice rushes from Jones.
We'll spread it out again, 2 receivers each side. Earhart in motion, handoff it goes Jones. Jones on a dive play is going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage about a half a yard. But it looked like they were going to go with kind of a jet sweep play the way that Brooks Earhart was in motion.
Well, they hoped to draw the defender that way, but Bonte was coming on a blitz from his linebacker spot off that left side, off the left tackle. And he was able to force that back inside.
And they kind of countered when they went to Joey Jones instead. So now 2nd and we'll call it 10. Francis. Pressure's on, ball knocked away, loose football. Dakota Wesleyan going to pick it up and jump on top of the football. The Prairie Wolves have a turnover as Tyler Francis.
Francis says that he was throwing the football, but the referee had a pretty good look at it, and that's his call.
Well, the line judge over here,
take a look.
Watch this again.
From that angle, I think it gets knocked out before that arm ever comes forward.
Yeah, the ball, I mean, his throwing, the motion was not totally all the way through on that play.
And I didn't catch the defender, but he did a good job getting the hand up and knocking it out of there. So a big opportunity now. After being down in the red zone last time and unable to convert, the Tigers right back in business.
Turner, quick strike over here near side. Livingston makes a catch. He's wrapped up by Seth Wardeen around the 20-yard line. They'll give him forward progress. Take a look at this again right there.
Just takes it right out of his hand.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
good call.
the ball, the arm was cocked back, and that's when the paw came in. The ball was knocked out of the hand of Tyler Francis. He had not thrown the ball or made an attempt to make a forward throw at that point. There was no follow-through.
Good pressure with another blitz, though. Dakota Wesleyan had picked that up a couple times here, more often in the second half.
And now Turner going to air it toward the far corner of the end zone, incomplete. Schroeder was the guy that looked like he was going to. May have been Larson. It's kind of hard to say. Both were kind of heading in that general direction.
Kind of right between the two, and already now third down. Barneau trots off the field this time.
So third down, and we'll call it 4. Ball.
Sean Fabrizius, redshirt freshman, in there at running back.
And he'll get the carry for Fabrizius on the carry, and it's Phil Latimer that tackles him short of the first down at the 17. So 4th and a yard. Fabrizius will stay in there as the tailback. Zach Kubik is the fullback, and he's out of Greenwood, Nebraska, just up the road from here. And off Fabrizius, around right tackle, gets the first down, maybe, gets it to the 15, looks like he did. He had to get to the 16, gets an extra yard to the 15.
And the fullback did his job there, picked up a block, so Fabrizius could get forward there. Maybe a little bit bigger back, I guess they go with him instead of Barneau there, as Barneau's back out on the field now.
And for, one of the top running backs in all the G-Pack.
Yeah, hats off to this Prairie Wolf defense for bottling him up.
He's really had a tough time just trying to get something going. He'll get the carry, and he breaks through, and Riley Shoemaker tackles him inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. So about an 8-yard gain on the play for Francois Barneau.
He averages almost 140 yards per game. Right around 25 carries a game as well.
Second and about a yard. Turner into the end zone. Touchdown. Alex Robertson with the reception. And Dakota Wesleyan gets on the scoreboard with 6:58 to go here in this third quarter, as they trail 14-6 with a point after pending. But this could be a spark here for this Tiger offense. As we watch this again on the replay, nice look over here on the near side to Robertson for the touchdown.
Nice play action, first touchdown of the season for Robertson. That little zone read, play action, just enough to freeze the defenders.
The kick is up and it is good as Porter connects on the extra point. 6:56 to go here in this third quarter, and Nebraska Wesleyan holding on by a 7-point lead at 14-7.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's first filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. A small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
14-7, Nebraska Wesleyan leading Dakota Wesleyan here at Able Stadium. Senior day, final home game of the season for the Prairie Wolves. Dakota Wesleyan got a big pickup off of that fumble from Tyler Francis and capitalized on a scoring strike here to Robertson. Here's Earhart. He'll pick it up from around the goal line on the return and stopped at about the 15-yard line.
Tanner Monk down there on the coverage. He's done a little bit of everything today. He's been a pretty good job on Connor Zumpf. Zumpf does have 5 catches, 72 yards, and a couple touchdowns, but there's been a few nice plays that he has made that typically Connor would haul in. Last week was just the second time this season that Zumpf was under 100 yards receiving.
Earhart and Corey Jones line up on the other side. Francis looking in the near side. Zump makes a catch at the 36 and ran out of bounds at the 39-yard line, and a first down for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Well, no sooner do I give Monk a little praise that they go right at him on the sideline, just a deep route. Let Zumpf go up again and get it or outrun him. Had a step anyway. Sure-handed Connor Zumpf falls it in. 24 yards and a first down.
Well, you think in addition to Phil Latimer that Tyler Francis and Connor Zumpf would be considered to be G-Pack, all G-Pack picks.
I think Zumpf and Latimer are probably no-brainers for sure.
And the ball almost intercepted, but pass intended for Zumpf goes incomplete, and it was Jared Van Winkle who almost picked it up.
And Francis, you know, he's probably in the top discussion of the top three.
Because you look at his numbers, there you see 5 100-yard games this year for Connor Zumpf, but with Tyler Francis, you consider how he's moved up on the passing charts here at Nebraska Wesleyan, where he's ranked in all of NAIA.
Well, and the thing is, he's doing it against defenses who know that all they have to do is stop the passing game, because there hasn't been a rushing game for Nebraska Wesleyan.
There's no running game whatsoever. Now the blitz is on for Dakota Wesleyan as Joey Jones gets the carry, loses the football, fumble on the play, and Dakota Wesleyan gets it back.
Down the blitz that time was, they ran again right into the blitz, so it worked out perfectly.
And that could be a game changer right there, Lucas Mormon.
Back-to-back turnovers like that. Short field now again for Dakota Wesleyan. This defense, who's done a nice job all day, needs to step up.
Corey Ross is down on the sideline. Corey, again, in a situation like that with Joey Jones, when you're trying to protect the football, I mean, you got to be really holding on to that ball really tight.
Yeah, I mean, right now ball security is what's killing Nebraska Wesleyan opening up this second half. You really want to just hold on to that football. I understand trying to make the extra yard and get the extra yard as a running back, but ball security is number one, and that's just changing the momentum right now as far as this game goes, and Dakota Wesleyan is definitely a little more excited on the sidelines than we are over here.
And it's those big plays, Corey, thank you very much, it's those big plays like that that are really shifting that momentum back over, and now second down and 4 to go off that 6-yard pickup from Barneau.
And that's the rushing attack that we've grown to accustomed to right there.
Pump fake here. Turner in trouble. Hand is right on him. Throws the ball up in the air. Ball tipped up, and it goes incomplete. Boy, Hunter Hand was right there on the tail of Turner.
And he was able to get rid of it, but that was risky. He just kind of chucked it up for anyone. It was a free-for-all as Hunter Hand was trying to wrap up, get something to pull him down by.
And then Wardeen and Livingston both were going after the ball. So 3rd and 4 for
big third down here, Jeff.
Dakota Wesleyan here with 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And Barneau is going to get the carry and fumbles the ball. McGill forces the fumble. Returning it downfield, Betcher. He's got green space ahead of him. All the way in there for the touchdown. And you've got to credit Brandon McGill.
And it's recovered by number 10, Wes Betcher.
Wes Betcher recovers the fumble that was forced by Brandon McGill and puts on another 6 on the scoreboard, and now the momentum is shifted back slightly in the direction of Nebraska Wesleyan.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of a scoop and score, that's for sure. Just the perfect hop right to Betcher, and down the sideline he went.
Wow. But Brandon McGill, he was right there where Barneau had the football, and Barneau had coughed the ball up, and Betcher happened to be in the neighborhood and took it all the way down for another 6. Kramer Rath with the extra point against the wind. The kick is up, and it is good. And all of a sudden, what seemed like kind of a doubtful situation with a momentum builder for Dakota Wesleyan shifted back to Nebraska Wesleyan. 21-7 Prairie Wolves back in a moment.
What excites me is being able to build something that isn't there. We're not about following the norm, we're about creating.
New concepts, they're always in the back of my head. The burger place that everybody wants it to be.
It just went crazy, but it wasn't at a point that we knew it could fully support a new adventure.
Sebastian's Table is everything I love about food. So Union Bank willing to take on a restaurant and give us a chance. We know there's always somebody there who will back us if we want to do something new.
We don't want to slow down. We're ready to keep rolling.
Take a look at this again. There's Barneau who gets the handoff, and Brandon McGill comes in, forces the fumble, and Wes Betcher scoops it all the way up and returns it downfield for a 6. On a 54-yard run, and it's 21-7 Nebraska Wesleyan.
And you said it, Jeff, just as things looked like they were really, the momentum was shifting to Dakota Wesleyan, that perfect bounce on the fumble after the tackle from McGill. Now it's through the legs.
Ball dropped that time by Tremaine Scott. Scott picks it back up. They'll give him a short return to the 16-yard line. But it's just a testament to how this Wesleyan defense has been big today. There you see Brandon McGill. McGill, the junior out of Waverly. Played his high school ball there for head coach Mike Johnson. Has a younger brother that plays at Waverly too. There you see Coach Keller.
Well, you're just going to talk about the turnover battle, how it was, 2 turnovers this half. It evened up now, though, after the interception earlier in the game, and now the fumble by Barneau.
Turner going to air it out downfield. Ball tipped up by Eric Richards. Incomplete. The pass intended for Cody Larson, and Eric Richards saved and broke up a big play that time.
He was there step for step. Thought at first maybe he was going to have a chance to pick it, but a good play just to knock it away.
So a 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. 5:07 remaining here in his third quarter. And Dylan Turner.
Another
ball
fumble.
dropped. Turner has to jump on top of it, recovers the football.
That was just never a clean handoff as he tried to give it to Barneau on a little zone read. It looked like a design run almost the whole way there. Fortunate to be able to get back on top of that one as this third quarter continues to cruise by.
3rd and long. It's a draw play. Turner going to keep it. And he is sandwiched up between 2 Prairie Wolves, one of them being Brandon McGill. And the other one was Kalen Vandenberg.
McGill on the day leading the Prairie Wolves in tackles with 7. And I would give him that forced fumble as well. That's 1 tackle for a loss, but that tackle that led to the fumble, the biggest one of the day by far.
And we mentioned him quite a bit today. He's been all over the place. Porter with the punt. Nice spiral to it. Got a long booming kick. Ball dropped by Wardine at the 34. He's on the return through the middle. And finally tripped up on the play. Might have run into one of his own players, Larson, on the return to about the 47-yard line. Not a bad spot to start on the next drive.
No, it was either Larson or Riley Shohan might have got just an arm stretched out there. Otherwise, Wardine might have had another 15, 20 yards in that return after initially fumbling the snap. Now, they had some success with a few power runs last time. As Corey mentioned, they tried to establish that. As you take a look over there, Ross Simple. But see if they go back to it. Even, you can't fault a guy for coughing it up one time.
And it's Jones who gets the carry. And he takes it to the Dakota Wesleyan 49. Ross Simple, 20-9 overall. And still searching for his first win here in Lincoln. 3rd season at Dakota Wesleyan. He was the 2013 GPAC Coach of the Year. They were 8-3. 3rd time ever in school history with 8 wins in that program. Francis near side, underthrown. And it goes incomplete.
Francis pass is complete to number 4.
Well, they'll give him the catch. They'll say he was able to slide in underneath that one. So.
Yeah. Sammy Zetek, the sophomore out of Lincoln East, was the intended target.
A long 2 yards here on 3rd down.
3rd and 2.
Fast-moving 3rd quarter.
2:47 and counting, as you see on your television screen down below. And the ball at the 45 of Dakota Wesleyan.
9 to snap it here.
Francis facing pressure, lobs it up in the air. Larson trying to go for it. It goes incomplete. Ran into coverage downfield from Jordan Buckles of Dakota Wesleyan, and 4th down here for the Prairie Wolves, and looks like the punting unit's going to come out, and Andrew Gill will be back out.
A couple of the O-linemen were motioning Jack McAvery over there, said, hey, let's try and go for it. You could see he was looking over to the sideline saying, let's get it, but pressure came on a blitz, and I think that ball was tipped at the line last time. It had a little bit of a wobble to it that normally you don't see out of a Tyler Francis deep ball.
Gelb with the punt, and that gets caught up in the wind. It's blown down around the 25, rolls. They're going to mark it down close to the 20-yard line as Brooks Earhart picks up the football. So at 2:15, it will be Dakota Wesleyan football. And it just seemed like early on here, the way that Dakota Wesleyan capitalized and got the football back after a fumble from Joey Jones, that tide started to turn really fast, and they were going to start moving. And then in an instant, the exchange to Borneau after he got the football and he got wrapped up by Brandon McGill, boom, just changed everything.
Turnovers are a game changer. It doesn't matter what level of football you're playing.
We'll spread it out here. Turner, short side route, near side goes incomplete. Looked like Livingston was the intended receiver that time. 2nd and 10 coming up here.
And even though it felt like the tide maybe had turned a little bit in Dakota Wesleyan's favor, I mean, really they gave up, or they had the one big play with Livingston, a 63-yarder, and then the turnover. Other than that, the offense hasn't done in a whole lot. They've had the short field to work with.
Swing pass far side. It is complete to Robertson, who cuts out toward the 30, gets the 1st down. He's tackled on the far side of the field by Hunter Hand. So Dakota Wesleyan moving the ball upfield. They'll have it at their own 34. Two receivers each side. Turner in the pocket, trying to get out of trouble. Eludes one tackle, has to run out of bounds. He got out of at least 1 or 2 tackles that time.
Well, he's a good runner. I mean, he's not going to torch you for 93 yards or anything on one play, but he's able to pick up 6 or 7, pretty elusive. Looks a little maybe shaken up after that one, kind of stretching that knee out.
2nd and 7.
He is the 2nd leading rusher on this Dakota Wesleyan team.
Borneau gets the carry and takes it all the way to the 42-yard line. Still 2 yards short of the 1st down.
I'm really surprised as actually they snuck in Javier Armejo again. But I'm surprised we haven't seen a more steady diet of the run. And give credit to Nebraska Wesleyan for turning them away, but they usually stick with it. There's a punishing run there at the end.
So we'll pick up that time for Dakota Wesleyan as they get the 1st down. They're going to be working from their own 48-yard line with 40 seconds and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Borneau with the carry, using that power to get through the middle, takes it to the Wesleyan 47-yard line. This will likely be it here to conclude the third quarter. Dakota Wesleyan will probably get lined up here, and with 5 seconds to spare, we'll just let the clock go and time runs out. Third quarter comes to a close.
That is the end of the third
So
quarter.
we're through 3, and Nebraska Wesleyan ahead by 2 touchdowns against number 19 Dakota Wesleyan through 3. It's 21-7 Prairie Wolves on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and I wanted to share a hot tip about keeping warm in the wintertime. Instead of turning up your thermostat, turn on a portable space heater. After all, why heat your whole house when you only want the room you're in to be warm and toasty? Oh, that's too toasty. Don't touch that, Gracie. For more energy-saving tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We'll see you next time.
Very chilly afternoon to be outdoors, especially at that level. And we are through 3 quarters of play here at Able Stadium. Nebraska Wesleyan leading at 21-7, and we want to tip our hat to our camera crew. They're out in the elements too. The brisk south wind that's coming in. Now, on second down, pickup of about a yard to the 48 of Dakota Wesleyan. So our camera crew, they've been out in the elements all day, and they've had to endure a lot of this strong wind, and we tip our hat to them.
And it's picked up since we started. It was between
really
10 to 20, and now it's up to about 15 to 30 out there.
You see Steve Smith and the gang up there in the camera deck right above us. Pass over here on the near side for Livingston is incomplete, broken up by Seth Wardeen.
Pass intended for Dustin Livingston, broken up by number 43, Seth Wardeen.
It's now 4th down here for Dakota Wesleyan. And the unfortunate thing for them is that they got to go into the wind the rest of the way.
And with the field goal kicker who was 0 for 8 on the season.
They're going to fake it. Pass is caught, and Betcher gets to him, and they stop him.
What a couple plays this second half for Betcher.
They had that recovery from the fumble, returned it down 54 yards for a touchdown. Big stop there on 4th down for Betcher. Take a look at this again.
You got him pretty well wrapped up. Just hang on and let your buddies come over and finish it off. Make sure he doesn't get those extra 3 yards he needed.
Tanner Monk had nowhere to go when he got to Betcher. And so Wesleyan back out on offense from their own 44. Here's a toss. Shaka Taylor trying to cut back in, and he forces his way for about a yard to the 45.
Well, now if you can get a little bit of a running game going, you want to let that clock roll on. It's fine if you're completing passes, but every time you get those incomplete ones, then you lengthen this game out for the Tigers. And right now the clock is your best friend if you're a Prairie Wolf fan.
Still got 13 minutes and 41 seconds to play. You don't totally want to let up off the gas pedal just yet. Francis throws a laser that's almost picked at about the 50-yard line.
And that was the safety help over the top that time.
And that was Tanner Monk, who almost had an interception.
So there was safety over the top. That allowed Monk to come underneath there. I don't think that Francis saw Monk lurking back there from his corner spot.
3rd and we'll call it 9 for Wesleyan. Francis is out of the shotgun. Blitz is on. Leapfrog, pressure in the backfield, and just like that, it was Brady Bonte, and he was already once that ball was snapped, he was already across that neutral zone and in the backfield, and Bonte with a big stop.
Yeah, Bonte and then Cole Ratterman helping finishing off. It's a great jump, as you said, Jeff. Not a whole lot you can do with that.
And he did a leapfrog to get into that backfield. Under 13 minutes to go here, and there is still ample time left for Dakota Wesleyan to try to get something going on offense. And now, no flags come out, but here is the punt. Wobbly kick that bounces around the 32, quickly downfield, inside the 15. They're going to mark it out at the 11-yard line of Dakota Wesleyan. A good punt from Andrew Gill.
Take over their own 11-yard line.
That's a great punt by Gelb.
So Wesleyan, Dakota Wesleyan that is, will take over. And here is Turner again. Reverse, giving up on a pitch to Robertson around left side. And Phil Latimer is there to make the tackle, right around the 15.
Robertson takes the ball on the
So a little bit of trickery that time from Dakota Wesleyan.
Number 94, Phil Latimer gets the business.
2nd and 5 to go. As we mentioned here, 21 seniors going out today in their final home game here at Able Stadium. Turner, pass over here near side. It's complete to his tight end. Andrew Schwader makes the reception and gives Dakota Wesleyan a first down at their own 24.
Ankle tapped by Brandon McGill.
So it'll be Turner again out of the shotgun. Barneau finds a little bit of an opening through the middle. It took Beard, and it looked like Andrew Bainey, or Aaron Bainey, who came in to make the tackle. Brandon McGill over there too for Nebraska Wesleyan.
A little bit sense of urgency here as they snap it a little earlier in the play clock each time here. Just now Dillon's asking, hey, run through that again. We need to get the play in here. With 11 minutes, 10 seconds, they got to get things rolling. They got 2 scores to make up here.
Here's Barneau again. A wall of Prairie Wolves forces him back down.
Well, and you said it perfect there. It was just a wall of Prairie Wolves. That line really gave up a step or two on the initial push, but then the linebackers all there. And they've just mixed things up. Coach Kroom and Coach Keller, a great defensive game plan against these Tigers. To go to that 3-4 look when they're not in 2 backs with a tight end and bring pressure from a lot of different places, whether it's the linebackers or safety or stunts up front with the defensive line. It's been impressive this afternoon.
3rd down here for Dakota Wesleyan. Barneau through the middle gets the first down to the 34. And I think that's the first time he's actually picked up a first down all afternoon.
And really, this is the most we've seen him on this drive, 3 carries. That's something to me, we would have saw earlier. Just pound your running back, pound the rock with Barneau and see where it gets you, but they went to the air early.
And don't be fooled by the time that's left in the game. Little play action, rolling left. Turner's going to keep it. And he runs into a tackle, and he is taken down about the 42-yard line.
He ran by 1 tackle.
Hunter Hand over there to make the stop.
Say just dangerous enough with those legs out of those rollouts and under pressure to hurt you. Right here, right by him. Pretty straight up and down run. There's a big tackle in the backfield by guess who?
Phil Latimer. Armillo is at was the ball carrier that time for Dakota Wesleyan.
Vito carries the ball this time for the Tigers.
Phil Latimer once again with a big stop.
6 tackles on the day, 2 for a loss so far for Latimer.
And it was amazing at one point that it seemed like he may go for a medical redshirt because of a hamstring injury, but not the case. Ball tipped up by hand on 3rd down, and it goes incomplete.
And really, that was a huge play there. Brings up 4th down. Otherwise, even if he makes the catch, it's a little 4th and a little more manageable. They may go for it there. But Han able to jump up and knock that one, or at least affect the trajectory of it just a tad.
Just over 9 minutes to go in the game. And Dakota Wesleyan will punt away right into the wind. Fair catch signaled by Ward Dean at the 35-yard line. That's where Wesleyan will take over here with just under 9 minutes to go in the game.
That wind has not been the punter's friend this afternoon.
For either team.
No. If you're a punter and you're going into the south end zone, not good. And there's we talked about Steve Smith. 11 seasons with the Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network, our longest tenured cameraman. Hats off to Steve up there. Getting it done in all kinds of weather. Today it's the wind.
1st and 10. Francis to the near side. It goes incomplete. Well, this will be, Steve's been here 11 since the beginning of coverage on TV here for Wesleyan. And I've been here about, 9? Seems like about 9 years. This is my 9th year.
This might be my 6th year. Time flies when we're all having fun. We've seen some good ones here at Able Stadium.
There's Dale Johnson in the south end zone. He's running the camera. 2nd and 10. Francis, short screen toss, complete to Joey Jones, breaks a tackle, stretches ahead to about the 40.
And he had some blockers out in front. That stiff arm was almost enough to spring him.
Tackle on the play by number 28.
He knew it too. He was one to bounce that to the outside. A lot of green out in front. And just hats off to all those guys for getting us the shots that we see here week in and week out.
And they get here on game days here. They get here usually about 4 hours before kick to get everything set up, lay out all the cable. Now timeout on the field. And they do a tremendous job of getting everything prepared and ready to go. 8:14 to play in this ball game. 21-7 Nebraska Wesleyan. Back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and I wanted to share a hot tip about keeping warm in the wintertime. Instead of turning up your thermostat, turn on a portable space heater. After all, why heat your whole house when you only want the room you're in to be warm and toasty? Oh, that's too toasty. Don't touch that, Gracie. For more energy-saving tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We'll see you next time.
21-7 Nebraska Wesleyan here at home against Dakota Wesleyan. Prairie Wolves with the lead. Francis on 3rd down and lost his footing as he was pump faking a throw, and he fell down right at the 35.
Yeah, that was just not sure how that happened. I mean, it was, take a look, he
just fell down.
He faked himself out.
Yeah. So Wesleyan forced to punt.
I don't know if maybe he felt like that football was coming out and he just needed to fall on it to keep possession. That could be part of it.
Gill back into punt. This time he's got the wind with him. Nice booming, spiraling kick. And Livingston going to pick it up at the 14, and he is still on his feet, dodging tackles. He's finally ran out of bounds by Aaron Bainey at about the 22.
returned by Dustin Livingston.
Well, this Nebraska Wesleyan team, the next 2 weeks of the regular season, you're on the road. Next week you go to Fremont to take on Midland, and then you end the season out in Hastings against Hastings College.
And those are, as we mentioned, win today and have a chance to not have a losing record, finish at 500. Those are both winnable football games.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right into the action down there on the sideline. That was coming right into your living room there earlier. But Midland's losing today to Briarcliff. Hastings is in a battle with Northwestern. Hastings is much improved over last year. Of the two teams, that's the biggest test the rest of the way.
Far side catch made by Schroeder. And Schroeder taken down on the turf that time. Riley Shoemaker and Vandenberg over there for Nebraska Wesleyan.
But as you said, Jeff, still with 7 minutes left, even that last drive. There's enough time here. If Briarcliff punches one in, they have all their timeouts left. Don't think that this one's in the bag yet. I mean, we saw last week what Nebraska Wesleyan did in the final 8 minutes to get that overtime win over Concordia.
2nd and 6. Spread it out. Short toss far side, incomplete. Seth Wardeen wrapped up Cody Larson, who was, it looked like the intended receiver that time, and broke up the play.
The Dakota Wesleyan staff was wanting a pass interference over there, at least one of the coaches was, but take a look right at the line, see how that ball came out wobbly. That's because there was a touch on it, and the umpire did a great job of signaling that that was tipped, so his other officials knew that it was free game. After once that ball gets tipped, it doesn't really matter what happens downfield.
Intercepted, and it's picked off. Garrett Farr with the interception, and he is taken down at the 34 of Dakota Wesleyan.
And I think that was just a miscommunication on a route between Robertson and Turner.
So they'll put it at the 33, no 34.
There was
they had the football ahead.
Triple coverage there.
They had the football ahead at the 33, they'll place it back at the 34.
Now with 6.5 minutes left here, if you can get any points on the board here, even a field goal with that wind at your back, make this a 3-possession football game.
So Francis with one receiver each side. He'll throw the ball far side. It's up in the air to Zumpf, and it's tipped up. It goes incomplete. And it's Monk again with coverage on the far side on Connor Zumpf.
Francis on the turf again after that play. They crank up the pressure. Good job on the right side of the line to slow the blitz down as Brady Bonte was coming in there. But then pressure came from the backside as well.
Second down here from the 34 of Dakota Wesleyan.
Both these teams getting decent pressure on the quarterbacks all day.
We'll work out of the eye. Horde in the slot, in motion to the far side. And a handoff given to Jones, and right at the point of attack, Dakota Wesleyan meets up with him and takes a 1-yard loss, and a timeout taken by Dakota Wesleyan. So 6:13 on the clock. We'll take a break, come back to Able Stadium with more in a moment.
I pick Wesleyan because
it's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
Some of the other camera crew members here today. Say hello, fellas, if you can hear us. Now they're being bashful. There you go. There you are. 21-7 Nebraska Wesleyan with lead over Dakota Wesleyan. We'll check in with Corey Ross here in just a moment. He's another guy who's been out in the elements all afternoon too. Francis here on third, and we'll call it 10. Short screen toss, complete to Jones, and Jones is going to be tackled for a loss behind the 35 at the 36. Corey Ross How about the energy that the defense has provided for the Wesleyan offense this afternoon?
Oh man, it's just been huge. I just got through talking to one of the coaches, and I mean, they're excited. They still feel, hey, there's 6 minutes left, so anything can happen in 6 minutes. But it looks like there is a victory that's really standing here and being ready to be had, and just a great showing defensively this second half.
But at the same time, with just over 6 minutes to go, if you're Nebraska Wesleyan, you can't necessarily let your guard down either.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't, and it's really hard. Usually, 6 minutes, you're up, 2 scores. Usually, you have that 4-minute offense. You start early on, and that's with the run game. But obviously, this entire season so far, Nebraska Wesleyan has not been able to get the run game going. So it's obviously their run game is their short passes and things like that. So it stops the clock when you get an incomplete pass and things like that. But that's all they have right now. And so obviously, defensively, they know that if they don't get any, first downs and things like that, they got to go right back out there, and they will.
Here's Gelb with the punt. High end over ender. It's going to take a bounce and goes into the end zone for a touchback. So with 5:55 to go, Dakota Wesleyan now with the football. And now they're getting into a point where the time becomes a factor.
Yeah, the clock is your enemy here. This has to be an efficient drive. They have to not use any of their timeout. They only got one left. They got to try and hang on to that if they can. So look for a lot of things. Try and maybe on the outside of the field so you can get out of bounds. Although the middle of the field's still open here with 5:55. You got to get that first score before you really worry about, managing the clock. More a sense of urgency than anything. But wouldn't be surprised to see him go to some outside routes.
Here's Turner towards Schroeder, goes off of his hands, out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, let's not underestimate the factor of going into this win here in the fourth quarter as well. Dakota Wesleyan deferred, got a pick. Nebraska Wesleyan said, we'll take the football. But Dakota Wesleyan into the win in the fourth quarter. Lots of time back there.
Boy, big time pocket. And the ball knocked away by Garrett Farr, incomplete. Livingston, the intended receiver. That's the second time here in this quarter that Garrett Farr has come up with a big play on defense.
Just timed it right again, just knocked it loose.
5:43 to go here, 3rd and 10.
And the defense has had a big day, forcing some turnovers, slowing down that rushing attack. But it's been a complete team effort here so far.
Pass over the middle, slightly thrown behind Schroeder, incomplete. Shoemaker provided the coverage. And here comes the 4th down situation for Dakota Wesleyan.
Well, at this point, it's 4-down territory the rest of the football game.
You might as well go for it, and that's what Dakota Wesleyan's setting up here. Might as well go for it. You're down 21-7 with 5:38 to play. We'll spread it out. Turner, he's going to run with it. Pass is going to go incomplete. And denied that time by Eric Richards. It was Schroeder, the intended receiver.
Even if it's complete, he was well beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw that football.
So the ball will belong to Nebraska Wesleyan. There was a penalty on that play, Lucas, so Wesleyan will decline it and get the football back at the Dakota Wesleyan 20-yard line. If they can go into the end zone here, they might as well put a bow on this one and wrap it up, because not much time to deal with here for Dakota Wesleyan as Larson goes in motion. They'll run the option pitch right side, Joey Jones. And he is denied. Going to be taken back for a loss of yards. Back at the 23, about a 3-yard loss. Dakota Wesleyan will take a timeout here. They'll burn their final timeout with 5:21 to go in the game. Still 21-7 Prairie Wolves.
Goes out to the Nebraska.
What excites me is being able to build something that isn't there. We're not about following the norm, we're about creating.
New concepts, they're always in the back of my head. The burger place that everybody wants it to be.
It just went crazy, but it wasn't at a point that we knew it could fully support a new adventure.
Sebastian's Table is everything I love about food. So Union Bank willing to take on a restaurant and give us a chance. We know there's always somebody there who will back us if we want to do something new.
We don't want to slow down. We're ready to keep rolling.
Number 9 today, there you see on the back of the helmet. In honor of Maury Lawrence. Senior who lost his life about 3 weeks ago. It was just hours after the homecoming victory in overtime over Concordia, which Nebraska Wesleyan won 37-34. They've honored him today on Senior Day. Dakota Wesleyan looking to show blitz. Tyler Francis lost the exchange, recovers as he jumps on top of the football, and that might have kept it right at about the 22.
Well, on the bright side, the clock continues to run because there's no timeouts left for Dakota Wesleyan to take. So third down here, you got to just be thinking, pick up 4 or 5 more yards here, maybe make an easier field goal attempt for Nebraska Wesleyan, as they got to try and tack one on here with the wind at their back. Don't think we'll see them go to the air, but as Corey mentioned, those short passes, intermediate passes, that's kind of like their running game. The Dakota Wesleyan staff saw something on this alignment. They were yelling to their defensive players, and now a timeout, I believe, by Nebraska Wesleyan.
So the Prairie Wolves are going to be whistled for a delay of game.
Remains third down.
So a delay of game against Nebraska Wesleyan. 4 minutes, 33 seconds on the game clock.
Well, that's, that makes a big difference, those 5 yards right now from the field goal kicking standpoint.
Now the play clock is down to 14, and there's nobody out there to get set up right away. So this is going to be a quick snap. We're down to 7 on the play clock.
They're going to have to burn a timeout.
They're going to have to take a timeout. So timeout taken by Nebraska Wesleyan.
Timeout. Wesleyan. They're second and a half.
4 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the game. 21-7 lead for Nebraska Wesleyan on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's first Filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. A small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
So the Prairie Wolves had to burn a timeout to get their offensive alignment set. 3rd and long from the 27 of Dakota Wesleyan. Francis over the middle, wide open. Catch made by the tight end that time, Nolan Clausen. That takes it back inside the 15 to the 14. He's about 4 yards short of the first down. 4th down coming up, and Kramer Rath, former Southwest Silverhawk, will come out and attempt a field goal. They'll mark it around the 22-yard line, I believe. And this will be a 32-yard attempt, almost right down the middle for Kramer Rath.
Yeah, they centered it up nicely. Good play, getting it close on the little tight end route. Nice breeze at his back, not really swirling.
Snap in the hold. Here's the kick. Got some distance. It is up, and it is good. So Nebraska Wesleyan tacks on 3 more, and they lead it 24-7 over 19th-ranked Dakota Wesleyan here at Able Stadium. It's Senior Day. Back with more in just a moment.
I always paid attention to fashion when I was growing up. And it's just fun to see it go from sketch pad all the way to actually being on shelves. Shoulder is a scarf with a pocket that you can store all of your basic necessities in. I think it's pretty amazing how quickly the company's grown. Union Bank has believed in me from day one. They have moved mountains for me to bring my product to life. The opportunity with Shoulder has led me all over the country. I love what I do.
"24-7 Nebraska Wesleyan with the lead over Dakota Wesleyan, who comes in ranked 19th on the NAIA poll. And from this standpoint, probably the biggest win of the year for this Prairie Wolf football team, considering that the games that they've had all season and some of the obstacles they've had to overcome.
The Concordia win was a big win and an exciting win on homecoming, a come-from-behind win. But to beat a ranked team, and really they've had Dakota Wesleyan's number here. This will be 9 in a row. Against Dakota Wesleyan. 3 times Dakota Wesleyan has come here a ranked team and went home with a loss, and this will probably put Dakota Wesleyan out of the NAIA playoff picture.
That's tough, considering how much this football program has been built up into a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, their only 2 losses have been against ranked teams, and the number 1 team and then the number 8 team right now, Northwestern. And granted, those losses have been, they were glaring. They were outscored 83-14, I believe, in those 2 contests. But nonetheless.
But this probably stings.
Coach,
really,
this one sting. This one will sting.
It's going to sting for a while because, like you said, this will essentially take them out of the playoff picture.
Well, and it doesn't get necessarily any easier. Concordia, they've lost a few games, a solid team, and they have to get back on the bus next week and head right back 20 miles from here to Seward and take on the Bulldogs.
Schroeder with a reception on the far side around the 30-yard line.
And for Nebraska Wesleyan, it's a couple road games again, closing out against 2 Nebraska schools.
Here's a pitch. Barneau gets it, and he's going to be tripped up short of the 30. Loss of about a yard back around the 29. So Wesleyan will hit the road for the final 2 games of the regular season. They go to Fremont next Saturday and take on Midland University. And then 2 weeks from today, to wrap up the season, they go to Hastings. 3rd down here. And the pass intended for Robertson goes incomplete, broken up by Eric Richards of Wesleyan. That's Nebraska Wesleyan. So 4th down.
And Barneau needed 71 yards to tie the career rushing mark. He did not get it today, and something obviously wasn't right with Barneau. I mean, he's been out there, but he hasn't been himself. There's a nice completion over the middle.
Schroeder with the reception wrapped up by Seth Wardeen at about the 45-yard line at midfield. And yeah, something wasn't settling right with Barneau today, and he again was not a factor at all. First and 10. Turner over the middle, tipped up on the play, incomplete. Looked like maybe Hunter Hand or.
It was, and he's got a lot of deflections at the line, back in coverage. He's had a solid day today, Hunter Hand.
And with Hunter Hand, only a junior, look for him to be a guy that steps up to be a leader next year on that defense. 2nd and 10. Pass far side. It goes incomplete. Flag thrown. Pass interference more than likely against Eric Richards.
It's been a fairly penalty-free day for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Yeah. Livingston was the intended receiver on the far side for.
A yellow blooper rag on the field.
Holding. Defense, number 15. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's against an eligible receiver. Results in a down.
So 1st down for Dakota Wesleyan.
And Dakota Wesleyan, as they move on this drive, they're getting close to right now actually out-yardaging Nebraska Wesleyan. There's a completion. Oh,
through the hands of Larson, incomplete. So With 2 minutes and 24 seconds, this is our final telecast of the season. And boy, it's hard to believe that 5 games we had on the schedule have gone by so fast.
Saw a little bit of history this year at the 100th meeting out in Crete. Able to travel on the road to do that one. Always a good time to take the show on the road.
Robertson gets the reception, put his knee down around the 38-yard line. Yeah, that was an interesting game, and it got out of hand right away down there in Crete. And Doane played top-notch football that afternoon.
Doane's put together a nice season since then. They actually have, if there was some sort of Nebraska Cup for the GPAC, it would go to Doane as they've...
Ball start, offense, number 3, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
As they've defeated every other team in Nebraska this year.
Yeah.
And I know between the Nebraska schools, that's always a point of pride especially when you're on that recruiting trail, to be able to go in and say, hey, look, we beat all the other schools here in Nebraska.
Robertson with a reception of the 38 picks up the first down and runs out of bounds. Far side at about the 32-yard line. Now that's a lot to be said for Doane. And, next year could be interesting too. And a lot of things will be changing with Nebraska Wesleyan, new starting quarterback and new guys.
Yeah, it'll
defense.
Be a new-look Prairie Wolf team next year.
Downfield, battle for the ball. Riley Shoemaker intercepts the pass in the end zone, and that's going to ice it.
And turnovers have been the name of the game this afternoon. Nebraska Wesleyan has made the most of the ones that they have come up with as well. As you take a look, just a little bit underthrown. Good battle there, but underthrown by 3-4 yards that time. And that's what you had to do. You had to make Dakota Wesleyan a passing team today. They've done it.
Yep.
Now they've had some success. They have 240 yards through the air, but now 3 interceptions to go along with the big fumble that resulted in 7 points. 4 turnovers is hard to overcome for the Tigers.
So we're down to 1:40 in the game. And a simple handoff.
No timeouts left for Dakota Wesleyan, so all they'll have to do is run a few more plays here. Victory formation probably coming up. And
Nick Lovell with the carry that time for Nebraska Wesleyan. But a lot of...
Still a chance, though, to go, not have that losing season, to go 500. And I know that that's all the motivation you need. These guys will be fired up the next 2 weeks, some in-state rivals, and able to maybe finish the season an even 500.
New quarterback in for Nebraska Wesleyan, that's Grant Allen. As he takes the handoff, turns around, and gives it up that time. Under a minute to go in the game. Want to thank everybody here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network that has helped out. Jamie Wins and the crew, and the truck, camera crew. Of course, to Corey Ross, been working the sidelines this season, and hopefully we'll get one more chat with Corey Ross here toward the end of the game and try to catch up with Coach Keller.
Thanks to Nebraska Wesleyan's Alex Linden, Ira Zeff. Alex getting us all the information we need every week, and Ira for supporting us along the way out here too. The athletic director, hats off to them for putting together a quality, quality show.
And a big win this afternoon for Nebraska Wesleyan as they upset the number 19 team in NAIA, Dakota Wesleyan. Nebraska Wesleyan wins it by the final of 24-7. As both teams meet at midfield to shake hands. We'll try to get a word with Coach Keller here. Let's take a break, come back to Able Stadium in just a moment on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
I pick Wesleyan because
it's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be a part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
What excites me is being able to build something that isn't there. We're not about following the norm, we're about creating.
New concepts, they're always in the back of my head. The burger place that everybody wants it to be.
It just went crazy, but it wasn't at a point that we knew it could fully support a new adventure.
Sebastian's Table is everything I love about food. So Union Bank willing to take on a restaurant and give us a chance. We know there's always somebody there who will back us if we want to do something new.
We don't want to slow down. We're ready to keep rolling.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's first Filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. You know, a small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
You should pick Wesleyan because
It's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
What excites me is being able to build something that isn't there. We're not about following the norm, we're about creating.
New concepts, they're always in the back of my head. The burger place that everybody wants it to be.
It just went crazy, but it wasn't at a point that we knew it could fully support a new adventure.
Sebastian's Table is everything I love about food. So Union Bank willing to take on a restaurant and give us a chance. We know there's always somebody there who will back us if we want to do something new.
We don't want to slow down. We're ready to keep rolling.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's first Filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. You know, a small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
you should pick Wesleyan because
It's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
Nebraska Wesleyan wins this afternoon over number 19 Dakota Wesleyan 24-7. Let's head down to the field, check in with Corey Ross, who's got head coach Brian Keller.
Ready? Hey, Coach. Here with Coach Keller here. Tell me how impressive and how proud of you were of your defense, and overall, how important was this victory today for your team?
Well, first of all, defensively, that's kind of what we're used to here. The last, you guys have been looking at us for 7-8 years. That's the kind of defense we played, a top 10, top 15 ranked defense nationally. Hadn't been there yet this year. Today was the day, and it was awesome to see. I mean, that's Wesleyan football right there. How big is that win? They're all big in the GPAC. Definitely a team like this, a ranked team, knocking them off. And the way we approach this, hey, we have 1/3 of the season left. Okay, 3 games, we got 1 of them. We got 2 more to go. And we are happy. I'm really proud of our seniors. And we've never lost to Dakota Wesleyan here at home. We're 9-0 at home, and let's keep that one going.
There you go. Congratulations on the victory today, Coach. Congratulations so far at home. And this is our last broadcast, and I'm very thankful that you guys allowed me to be here, and thankful for the staff and everything else. Congratulations again. That's Nebraska Wesleyan with the victory today.
Well, I appreciate you guys spending the time here and getting some airtime for us. I mean, it's great. It's invaluable for us as far as recruiting, and get to hang out with guys like you. That's a pretty good deal.
I appreciate it. Good luck today. Good luck today. There you go, Coach Keller and Nebraska Wesleyan. Like I said, great victory today, and thank you guys. Thank you for the support, and I'm happy to be here, and thank you for the opportunity.
You bet, Corey. Thanks a lot. And a big win today for Coach Keller and Nebraska Wesleyan. And there you see Wes Betcher with the game changer right there off the fumble. Returns it 54 yards for a touchdown. And Nebraska Wesleyan picks up a 24-7 victory over Dakota Wesleyan this afternoon. Some final thoughts, Lucas.
Well, the defense, as Coach Keller said, showed up, and they played their brand of football. And if they can play that way the rest of the season, those final 2 games on the road, I think they have a great shot of being, a 5-5 football team and really going into next season with some momentum. And it was good to see, those guys climb up the record books as well. And it'll be fun to watch the last couple weeks, even though we don't have these guys here on the air. It'll be fun to kind of follow their progression and see where they end up. Zumpf on just a 2-year career here, and Francis over the history of his career. Just some great numbers along the way. It's been fun. I've had fun working alongside you as always, and Corey and the whole crew here. So another season in the books for us. It's been a good time.
And we look forward to it again next season. Your final score, Nebraska Wesleyan 24, Dakota Wesleyan 7. For the entire crew, for Corey Ross, Lucas Moorman, I'm Jeff Moats. Thanks for watching, and good afternoon from Able Stadium in Lincoln.